Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Priya Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So, welcome to today's Bhakti Yoga class. Yesterday we were discussing about having taught his 100 sons, having made Bharata the monarch of the entire Jambudvipa. Vrshabhadeva took on to renunciation, Vanaprastha order. Initially he stayed in the Kuti, then traveled all over the city, then he went outside and became like Jada. Started practicing duff and demb, mad, and stabda. So like that. People without understanding his transcendental nature, they used to speak harsh words at him, criticize him, throw stones, throw sputum, spit at him, pass urine, etc. So, but he would go like that and beg and live. After some time, he does not want to do all these things. He accepted the vritti of Ajagara vritti. He used to lie down at one place only. Whatever comes on its own accord, he would eat, he would drink, would pass urine, pass stool there only, everything there only. So while doing that, he attained so many mystic potencies, but he never used them. He could have removed the current miserable condition by using the mystic powers, but he did not do. Because great souls like Lord Vrshabhadeva does not pay attention, does not have faith on the mind, the flickering mind. Mind can cheat them anyway. Like that, he spent some time like that. Eventually came down to Karnataka province, Konka Venka, entered into a forest known as in forest area known as Kutakachala. Then one fine day, he himself invoked fire. That fire, forest fire, burnt the entire forest, including the trees, plants, animals, reptiles, snakes, birds, insects, everything. The forest fire burnt their grass bodies, and Lord Rishabhadeva burnt their subtle bodies. Thus, by his causeless mercy, all the living entities in that forest went back to Godhead. This is the great mercy of Lord Vrshabhadeva, whomsoever came in touch with him. Actually, he came in touch with them and bestowed mercy upon them. But somehow or other, they are in touch with him, so they got mercy. This is where we start. And we'll continue from verse number 9. Yes, Prabhu.
Lord Vrshabhadeva is the person from whom Jainism was actually inspired.
We don't know. Dekhte hain. King Arath of Konka, Venka, and Kokata regions, hearing about and learning the activities of Lord Vrshabhadeva, would become bewildered. See, listen. Would become bewildered. The pastime of Lord Vrshabhadeva happened during Swayambhu Manvantara, long back. Because the personality coming in the line of Priyavrata Maharaj. And Priyavrata Maharaj is the first son of Swayambhu Manu. Uttanapada ruled for the first half Manvantara, second half Manvantara, Priyavrata is the central ruling. So Vrshabhadeva was somewhere almost at the end of the Swayambhu Manvantara. That time pastime happened. The people were hearing, forgetting. But now at the beginning of the current Kali Yuga, when Lord Krishna departed, Kali Yuga began. Parikshit Maharaj was made king. Yudhishthira Maharaj also departed. Parikshit Maharaj just ruled for 25 years, not more than that. At the end of his 25 years, he was cursed to die in 7 days. That time, by Lord's mercy, he was hearing Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami. And that Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. And he's telling that in the future, in the near future, when the Kali Yuga begins, a personality known as King Arhat, he will be ruling the province around Konka, Venka, and Kokata regions. And he will hear that here, यहाँ पे, a great personality known as Rishabha, accepting the Avaduta Vesha, traveled length and breadth of entire Bharata Varsha, finally came here, invoking forest fire. He delivered all the living entities from this forest. That is here, Sthala Purana, will say. You will hear about Bharat Maharaj, not Bharat, Vrshabhadev's पूरा हिस्ट्री, बचपन से वो समय तक क्या क्या हुआ, वो इंसिडेंट तक जो भी हुआ. And hearing about and learning the activities of Lord Vrshabhadeva would become bewildered, vimohitaha, when adharma increased in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga by nature is supposed to be filled with adharma, but adharma also, amount of adharma will keep increasing. When it is becoming more and more, bigger and bigger, this king Arhat would be bewildered by hearing these pastimes of Lord Vrshabhadeva. Before him also others must have heard these pastimes in that local area Sthala Purana, but others were not bewildered. But he becomes bewildered. When adharma increases in Kali Yuga, by the results of bad karma, because he himself performed some bad karma, that's why he will be bewildered by this pastimes. Foolishly giving his path of dharma, swa dharma patam, mandaha apahaya. Whatever dharma he taught, he learned in the Gurukul. Whatever his parents followed, he was also supposed to follow and continue give forward the legacy. But when he heard about Rishabha, foolishly giving up his the path of dharma that he followed ancestrally, which destroys all dangers. That dharma which his parents followed would destroy all dangers, but he had given up that dharma. As a result, how? By his own mind. He propagated a deviant path which rejected the scriptures. So he heard something about Vrshabhadeva. He had given up what he was following and he adopted a new means of perfection which disregarded the scriptures which were given by Vasudeva for the people of Kali Yuga at the beginning of Kali Yuga. That is what happened when this king Arhat became the ruler. So when it happened, you dig the history. What was the time of King Arhat ruling over these provinces?
Historically recorded only modern historians.
करो ना कुछ रिकॉर्ड देखो होमवर्क आपके लिए. The jivas of Kali Yuga. So now this is one important point. But before going that, when was this system of Jainism began? Who was the founder of Jainism? What was his farmer name, etc., etc. We also hear about Gautama. His farmer name is Siddhartha. His parents' names also we have in history. So like that, you just cross check. There was any king whose name was Arhat, something like that. So then both are matching. Bhagavatam and modern history. You will get the matching. So Sukadeva Goswami is saying that this will happen in the Kali Yuga. That means since Swayambhu Manvantara abhi tak, jab conversation ho raha tha, many people had heard about Rishabhadeva, but none of them bewildered. But seems that in the Kali Yuga, people are going to be bewildered. Something special is going to happen. Then, in order to safeguard ourselves, what we should do, not fall prey to such kind of bewilderment. That instruction our acharyas are giving. The jivas of Kali Yuga, all of us, looking in the external world, will get benefit by hearing and chanting the pastimes of Lord Vrshabhadeva, but not by imitating his behavior. If we try to imitate the behavior of Lord Vrshabhadeva, try to imitate his activities, will not be benefited. Instead, we should look into external world and hear about Lord Vrshabhadeva's teachings, especially as a brahmachari, what did he do? As a grasa, what did he do? And what are the teachings unto his sons? If we hear that, follow that, will be greatly benefited. Instead of just looking into his activities in the Vanatas order, not understanding what is happening in his mind. External activities only sees, somebody sees and try to imitate him. That does not give any benefit to the imitator. That is understanding. Because the jivas in Kali Yuga are incapable of looking inward. They become fallen by becoming fixed in Vrshabhadeva's external conduct alone. If we only look external activities, that Vrshabhadeva gave up the clothes. He was wandering without clothes. And let me also do like that. Because he appeared to teach that if I follow, I will also attain perfection. If somebody says like that, not possible. Because we fail to see what is there in the heart of the Lord Vrshabhadeva. We only, at max, we can see external activities and what is there inside, we don't know. So without understanding what is inside, we cannot follow external activities. Example, a person called Arhat will be born in the future. Hearing of Vrshabhadeva through local scriptures, he thought he would also become a similar like Vrshabhadeva by imitating Vrshabhadeva's activities. He learned about his activities in detail. Upashikshaya. When adharma would increase in Kali Yuga, because of what would inevitably happen as a result of bad karma, Arhat become bewildered. From the beginning of Kali Yuga, eventually in due course of time, adharma would increase. During that time, our Dvaja, our Arhat will simply imitate the activities without understanding why Rishabhadeva is doing like that. This is what will happen. Then what? By that system, bewildered by the Lord's Maya, the lowest of mankind, making their own rules, which are devoid of clean conduct, will practice vows against scriptures. They reject the scriptures and they practice so many serious vows which are against scriptural injunctions. Without bathing, what kind of rules they follow? No bathing, no achaman. So, achaman is basically our Varnashram culture. We need to do achaman means taking bath, performing achaman, purifying ourselves, and performing some of the rites. So in that way, no bathing, no achaman, no saucha, and while plucking out their body hairs, when the hairs are increasing, they just simply pluck. They don't shave, and at the same time, ignoring the Lord, and they don't give highest regard to the Lord. They simply do something in the air. Their minds overcome by the proliferation of adharma. So, in that way, their minds overcome by the proliferation of adharma in Kali Yuga, they will criticize the Vedas, they will criticize the Brahmanas, they will criticize the sacrifice, and and the Lord and the devotees. In one sense, they will criticize everything. They will criticize the Vedas, the Brahmanas, sacrifices, the Supreme Lord, and devotees. What is left? Making up their own rules. They will be devoid of rules of cleanliness and proper conduct. This is what happens
So this is
after Arhat rules.
this is only for those who want to detach or take sannyas.
No,
Or it is a general conduct.
general conduct what? No, external activities only the Vanaprastha activities.
This is Vanaprastha.
They imitate only Vanaprastha activities.
Right from birth.
After taking to Vanaprastha, whatever they did, that much only they follow.
तो जब गृहस्थ रहते तब फॉलो नहीं करते.
हाँ पता नहीं उसमें से बहुत सारा यूनिवर्सिटी रहता है यूनिवर्सिटी बनने के बाद ही ऐसे बनते हैं ना दिगंबरा विहियर ना दे आर ऑल सन्यासीस दे आर नॉट गृहस्थस.
So they reject Vedas, Brahmanas, sacrifice God and devotees. But they plug. वो भी सुना है कि वो प्लग करते हैं जब वानप्रस्थ लेते हैं तो प्लग करते हैं.
Yes.
और वो व्हाइट कपड़ा लेके निकल जाते हैं.
Yes. कपड़ा पहले कपड़ा लेके निकल जाते हैं बाद में कपड़ा भी छोड़ देते हैं. Yeah, they will be respected actually. Digambaras, they come once in a while, they will be respected like that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So what is there? मतलब स्क्रिप्चर तो रहेगा नहीं.
वो बोल रहे ना स्क्रिप्चर्स रिजेक्ट करते हैं they make their own scriptures.
फिर उनके सब गृहस्थ आश्रम भी है.
आश्रम नहीं वो रहते हैं ना फैमिली तो रहता है फैमिली ऑर्डर किधर तो रहेगा आप फॉलो करो नहीं फॉलो करो फैमिली ऑर्डर तो रहेगा.
तो ये जो जैन वाले रहते हैं
हाँ
they
मतलब
this particular sect of people in their Urvastha for a normal routine life,
married life. They are very nice.
They follow like co-regulative principle उनके इसमें
Why? आपके गांव में सब लोग पाला करते हैं क्या?
नहीं, उनका जनरल रूल है क्या, जैसे अपने
नहीं, जरूरत नहीं, उनका अलग कुछ रहेगा. why you want everywhere same rules?
No, not our rules, like their rules.
कुछ तो रहेगा, ये रहेगा तो. but they have one rule very strictly they follow. charity. बहुत charity करते वो लोग.
In their own people and community or in general?
In general also, in their community, in general also they see some people who are like sadhu kind of people, they do a lot of charities. Because the profession itself is doing a business and all, deal with a lot of money, so they do charities.
नॉनवेज फूड नहीं खाते ना,
वो पता नहीं, पूछा मैं एक बार. कुछ लोग see, non-vegetarian has become like a vegetarian sabji only all over India. For people, you don't see any other thing. In the India it is like sabji, in the West it is more than sabji. First one is to non-vegetarian, next one is to vegetarian. So it is like that. So these low-star people, faithful to an ignorant tradition, concocted by themselves, which will not accept the authority of the Vedas, will fall down to hell. Tamasi ande swayam eva parapatishtam tishanti. Because they don't neither respect nor offer respects.
डायरेक्ट डेस्टिनेशन बताएगा
वो tamasi anda tamas swayam eva parapatishyanti, because they are rejecting the Vedas in that way, for that reason.
But this is what they are following.
Arvakta Naya.
This is what they know. This is right for them. We पढ़ा है, we सिखाया है. उनके research भी prove किया. See, problem is not following something. The problem is rejecting something meaningful. Shastra never deny you do something, no problem. आपको जो करना है करो. इसको निंदा मत करो. निंदा करेगा तो ये प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. मायावादी कृष्ण अपराधी, that's why they are in trouble. Otherwise, if they follow something, no problem. They're like a neutral thing. You are not following Shastra, you are not following Ashastra also. You are in a neutral position. You are following Ashastra and you are criticizing Shastra. That is aparad. So it's you neither follow Shastra nor follow Ashastra. You are neutral point. Okay, you remain there only. Nothing will happen to you. But if you go this side and you don't follow Shastra, but you criticize Shastra while following Ashastra, that is condemnable. But at one time, need of the hour, it says too much. It is there. History says, read history, padho. Indian history. Vrshabhadeva appeared in this world to teach liberation, which had become lost due to influence of time. Ayam avataro rajasopa pluta kaivalyopa shikshanartaha. When Lord Vrshabhadeva appeared, the jnanis of that time during Swayambhu Manvantara period were supposed to follow his example. Whenever Lord appears and propagates some new system of dharma, that is especially meant for the people during that time. Okay? It is for the local consumption. The jnanis during that times are expected to follow that. He came to teach Jnana Yoga, which had been lost due to the influence of time. Or he came to teach the path of liberation to those overcome by Rajoguna. People of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga could follow his teachings, but the people of Kali Yuga should only hear about him. So that means
People of Satyayuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga could follow his teachings, means they could follow the path shown by him, the path of Avadut. In the previous three yugas, people are highly developed conscious. They can understand what was there in the heart of Lord Vrshabhadeva, and they could follow it. They have the ability to tolerate all these difficulties and they could follow it. But in Kali Yuga, people do not have that much caliber. We can only hear and appreciate the teachings of Lord Vrshabhadeva from 5.5. But afterwards, whatever he did, we should not follow. That is not meant for us. It is not meant for Kali Yuga people. The previous Yuga people might follow, no problem. Kali Yuga people who should not follow the remaining things. What we can follow is the teachings. Teachings of Lord Vrshabhadeva. उसके ऊपर नहीं. You are getting the point? Though he showed something, but that is not for rest of eternity. That is only for the local consumption. That time for the jnanis to attain moksha immediately, quickly to go back. He showed some new, simplified, not simplified, a new and a different way of approach. So that should be followed by the people during that time. But even by us hearing these activities of Lord Vrshabhadeva, appreciating, that is beneficial for us. If we start imitating, Hare Krishna, we are gone. Tasya anugunan shlokan gayanti aho bhuvasapta samudravarya samudravritya dvipeshu varsheshu adipunymetat gayanti yatratya jana murare karmani Badrani Avataраvanti. Sages sing verses about Lord Vrshabhadeva, describing his qualities as follows. Among the lands, among the islands, when the seven seas, with the seven seas on his earth, Bharata Varsha is the most pious, because its inhabitants sing about the auspicious activities of Lord's incarnation. Of the entire universe, Bhumandala is special. Of the entire Bhumandala, Jambudvipa is special. Of the entire Jambudvipa, Bharata Varsha is special, because in Bharata Varsha, people continuously hear and sing about the pastimes of the Lord whenever he appears. Among the countries, Bharata Varsha is the most pious, because the inhabitants sing about the activities of Lord's various incarnations. One among them is Lord Vrshabhadeva. Aho nuvamsho yashasavadata priya priya vrtato yatra puman purana kritavatara purusha sadhyas chachara dharmam yada karma hetum. Read. आपका उसमें क्या है?
Oh, what shall I say of the dynasty of Priyavrata, which is pure and very much celebrated. In that dynasty, the Supreme Person, the original personality of Godhead, descended as an incarnation and executed religious principles that could free one from the results of duty activity.
The dynasty of Priyavrata is shining with fame. In that dynasty, the eternal Supreme Lord appeared in the form of Vrshabha, the most excellent Lord, Adya Purusha, enacted dharma by which one can destroy all karmas. A special form of dharma is displayed, following which one can destroy karmas very quickly and go back home to God very quickly. Among the dynasties, Priyavrata, the dynasty is fortunate. So that is the glory of Priyavrata's dynasty. Konvasya kastam aparonugachan manoratenapi abhavasya yogi yogamaya spruhayanti udasta ye asat Taya yena krita prayantna. Read.
Who is that mystic yogi who can follow the examples of Lord Vrshabhadeva even within his mind? Lord Vrshabhadeva rejected all kinds of yogic perfection, which other yogis hanker to attain. Who is that yogi who can compare to Lord Vrshabhadeva?
Which yogi who desires the powers rejected by Lord Vrshabhadeva as insubstantial? Which yogi in the material world today will reject those powers which Vrshabhadeva obtained, but he rejected them as insubstantial and makes effort to gain them, can follow even in his mind the example set by reborn, unborn Vrshabhadeva. He is basically telling the Pandavas story. No, he is basically telling that except Vrshabhadeva, no one could have done this, whatever he has done. All others would have been tempted by the mystic potencies which were at his disposal. So, like that is this verse is glorified. Among the yogis, Lord Vrshabhadeva is most auspicious. Which other yogi can follow the direction of Lord Vrshabhadeva in his mind, much less by action? Even Pandavas are also like that. What we are discussing in the Bhagavatam class daily, Pandavas could have stayed for some more time and enjoyed. But as soon as Vishnu Maharaj heard that Lord disappeared, he started walking towards north. He is not at all interested in the worldly opulence. He is only interested in serving the Lord. That is the greatness of great personalities. Lord Vrshabhadeva was without birth. The yogi desired siddhis, which were rejected as inauspicious by Lord Vrshabhadeva. But the yogi makes endeavors to attain these siddhis. The yogi's current day in scenario, they endeavor a lot for the difference siddhis. But only Vrshabhadeva could reject the mystic powers which obtained as a byproducts. Are the yogi desires siddhis which were rejected by Lord Vrshabhadeva with the so it's like that. So this is the glorification of Lord Vrshabhadeva in the last three verses. First thing, the Bharata Varsha is glorified. Second thing, Priyavrata's lineage is glorified. Third thing, Vrshabhadeva's wonderful activities are glorified. No other yogi will remain restrained from being tempted by the mystic siddhis. But he did not. So like that. That is his greatness. Parishit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami says, my dear Parishit, thus I have described the activities of Lord Vrshabhadeva, the ultimate benefactor, Paramaguru of the Vedas, of the people, of the Devatas, of the Brahmanas. Okay? Of the Brahmanas and of the cows. With great faith, one should attentively hear and chant this story, which destroys all sins of man and creates complete auspiciousness. Pure bhakti for Lord Vasudeva will develop in the attentive hearer, attentive chanter, attentive rememberer, or enjoyer of these pastimes. Whoever does any of these activities, they will attain pure bhakti unto Lord Vasudeva. First of all, they should hear attentively. They should boil and make curd attentively. They should elephant attentively. Okay? The people of Kali Yuga derive greater benefit by hearing and chanting the pastimes of Lord Vrshabhadeva, whereas the yogis of other three yugas derive benefit by practicing a system of yoga. In the previous 3 ages, more than hearing, if they follow the path displayed or path presented by Lord Shiva, they get benefit. They can quickly go back to Godhead. Because in the previous ages, the lifespan is very long. In order to attain perfection, they have to live long. But if they follow the path shown by Vrshabhadeva, they can quickly go back to Godhead. In Kali Yuga, if you try to imitate, we go in a detour. That is not good. Instead, we should hear about him, glorify him, and take inspiration from his activities and then move on and do whatever we are supposed to do. Kali Yuga is not meant to imitate him or follow him. Instead, we should only hear and appreciate him. The pure activities of Lord Vrshabhadeva, who acted for everyone's benefit, have been described. His teachings have also been described in verses such as 551 to 25 or 27. Ashtravayati means to chant. Both the hearer and chanter, and as well as the person who remembers and the person who enjoys the topics, develop bhakti. In Kali Yuga, what we are supposed to do? We have to hear about him, we have to chant about him, we have to meditate upon his wonderful character, qualities, and then we have to relish hearing and discussing his topics. Such kind of a person will develop bhakti unto Supreme Personality of Godhead. Others have to struggle a lot. The wise, suffering from various calamities of material life, continually bathe themselves in the lake of bhakti, and because of its internal intense bliss, they do not strive for liberation, though it is considered the highest goal. So it is like that. The wise people, suffering from various calamities of the material life, continuously bathe themselves in the lake of bhakti, and because of its intense bliss, they do not strive for liberation, which come of its own accord. You're following? Though it is considered the highest goal, which comes of its own accord, since they have attained everything by being the servants of the Supreme Lord. Bhakti is the highest goal for all the living entities. In Bhakti, a lake of nectar, the learned bathe themselves. Within Bhakti, there is a lake of nectar, within which the greatly learned people bathe themselves. Krishna Varnam, Tusha Krishnam, Sango Pangasara, Yajnai Sankirtanai, Praye, Yajantihi, Sumedada. Only Sumedada people engage themselves in Yajna, Sankirtana Yajna. Others, they will see, go away or criticize, make fun, etc. etc. Bhakti is the highest goal for all living beings. In Bhakti, there is a lake of nectar of learning and remembering themselves. They do not aspire for liberation which comes of its own, though not requested, and though offered by the Lord. Okay? The pure devotees do not aspire for liberation which comes of its own accord, though not requested, and though offered by the Lord. Sarishti Sarupya Samipya Aikatma Piputa Diyamanam Naguranti Vina Massevanam Jana. In 29th chapter of 3rd Canto, Lord Kapila, while describing the 4 types of bhakti, in bhakti in pure goodness, he says that my devotees are such kind of people, even if I offer any of the 5 liberations, they will not ask. Instead, they will ask if there is seva in that. If there is seva, then they will accept. Otherwise, they will not accept. That is the mode of the devotees. They have no interest in liberation. Liberation means Sahaja Mukti. Because everything is already attained by being the servant of the Lord, not by becoming one with the Lord. By becoming a Rupanuga Das, Krishna Das, this, that, Das, everything is accomplished. There is no need to enter into Brahman and experience something new. So like that. The dynasty of Prevrata in which the Lord as Vrshabha appeared is most auspicious. Uttanapad's dynasty is also auspicious because the Lord as Prithu appeared in it. Parikshit Maharaj is thinking that Priyavrata's dynasty में Lord appeared as Vrshabha. In Prutu's dynasty, Lord appeared as, in Uttanapa's dynasty, Lord appeared as Prutu. The dynasty of Raghu is auspicious because the Lord appeared as Rama. Among the contemporary Yadus and Pandus, Yadus and Puru dynasty, the Yadu dynasty, the Yadu dynasty is auspicious because Lord Krishna appeared in it. Parishit Maharaj is thinking that Lord is appearing in different dynasties. Because of his appearance, everything become glorious. Yadu dynasty, Raghu dynasty, then Priyavrata dynasty, Uttama dynasty, they are all good. But what happened to our Puru dynasty? But our dynasty of Puru is unfortunate because the Lord did not appear in it. In this way, King Parikshit lamented internally. Understanding the mind, because he was omniscient, Sukadeva gave Sukadeva Goswami then gave him the bliss by showing the superiority of bhakti over liberation. Even though Lord appeared in other dynasties, you may think that they are all great. Just because Lord appeared, they all become great. Not that. Whoever has bhakti, they are much greater than the Vamshaj. Lord might have appeared in one particular dynasty. If they don't have bhakti, they are not utilizing the good fortune of Lord being appearing in their dynasty. Instead, even though Lord may not appear in your dynasty, but if you have bhakti, Lord will come to you. So like that, Sukadeva Goswami will console Parikshit Maharaj. That is what he says in the 18th verse. This is the last button verse. He says that.
Should we understand that this statement or this understanding as a lesson to us, not as a factual
Anyway,
thing?
are you really feeling that Lord did not come in front of me? Lord appeared 500 years back. That Goswamis are so fortunate. Nityanand Prabhu is so fortunate, and Srivas Thakur so fortunate. Do you feeling like that? If you feel like that, you read this. Then Sukadeva Goswami said that don't think like that. If you have bhakti, Lord will be there next to you always. You don't have to worry that Lord should have appeared when you are there, or Lord should have appeared in your dynasty. Not like that. That will not give good fortune. If you have bhakti any time, any point of time, Lord will appear for you specifically. That is what he is telling. Even though Lord Krishna did not appear in the dynasty of the Kurus, the Pandavas dynasty, but though Lord appeared in some other dynasty, Yadu, at a far distant, but Lord spent more time with the Pandavas than the Yadavas. That's what is mentioned in the next verse. Rajan Patir Gururalam Bhavatam Yadunam Daivam Priya Kulapati Kwachakinkarova Astveva Manga Bhagavan Bhajatam Mukundo Muktim Dadati Karishismana Bhakti Yogam. Please read, Prabhu.
Shukdev Goswami continue. My dear king, the Supreme Person Mukunda is actually the mentor of all the members of the Pandava and Yadu dynasties. He is your spiritual master, worshipable deity, friend, and the director of your activities. To say nothing of this, he sometimes serves your family as a messenger or servant. This means he worked just as ordinary servants do. He was engaged in getting the Lord's favor, attain liberation from the Lord very easily. But he does not very easily give the opportunity to render direct service and glory.
This is one of the important verses, especially the last line. Prabhupada quotes everywhere, all over his purports. Lord awards liberation, but it does not give bhakti to someone, because giving bhakti means giving himself. That Lord does not want to give himself to anyone and everyone. If somebody asks liberation, he will give easily, Sahaja Mukti. So this verse Prabhupada quotes many times. For which Sukadeva Goswami is saying that, O King Parikshit, do not worry, do not think like that. Lord Krishna, who was the protector, instructor, object of worship, giver of affection, and the protector of both the Yadavas and Pandavas. Don't think that Lord Krishna appeared in the Yadu dynasty is only friend of Yadavas. He is much more closer friend to Pandavas than the Yadavas. But he was sometimes your servant. He never became the servant of the Yadavas, but he became servant of the Pandavas. How? He washed the feet of the Brahmanas in Pandava sacrifice, during Rajya sacrifice. He became the messenger of the Pandavas. He became the chariot driver of Arjuna. He never did all these things for the Yadavas. So, like that. He became your servant. The Lord gives liberation, but not Bhava Bhakti to those who worship Him. Matlab, Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti, Lord does not give just like that. If devotees ask for liberation, He will give just like that. Hallelujah. Liberation? Hallelujah. Bhava Bhakti? Really? Then He will test. Testing करके करके बाद में देंगे. Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti, especially the Raganuga Bhakti, does not give easily to one and all, everyone and anyone. That is a rare commodity. Only those whom Lord chooses, they will only get that Raganuga Bhakti. Others might get any kind of liberation. So that is the greatness of Bhakti. If you have Bhakti, Lord will become subservient to you. If Lord appears in some dynasty, he will not become their servant. Instead, he will become their friend relative. But if you have Bhakti, he will become your subservient. That is the greatness of Bhakti. So what do you want is a question. O King, Lord Krishna is the protector of the Pandavas and the Yadavas. He is your instructor and the object of worship. He has shown affection and is the leader of the clan. Though Lord Krishna appeared in the Yadu dynasty, he acted equally toward the Yadavas and the Pandavas. But sometimes he acted as your messenger or servant. He did not do this for the Yadavas. He did more for you than for the Yadavas because of his greater love for you. That he gave the highest prema to you who do not worship him is the highest position. Attaining Krishna prema is higher than attaining Lord in one's dynasty. That is what Sukadeva Goswami is indicating. He does not even give Bhava Bhakti to those who worship him. He gives the inferior liberation, but never Bhava Bhakti or Prema Bhakti. But he does not give liberation to those practicing pure Bhakti, who do not desire liberation. To those persons he gives Prema Bhakti. For normal devotees, he will award liberation, but not Bhava Bhakti. But for pure devotees, he will not award liberation. Instead, he will award himself in the name of Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. Because when a person comes to Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti platform, they'll be able to see the Lord face to face. They'll keep the Lord under complete control like the Vrajavas is kept. That is the glory of the Prema Bhakti. So, this is how Sukadeva Goswami kind of consoling Parikshit Maharaj, saying that, my dear Parikshit, don't worry that Lord did not appear in your dynasty. More than that, Krishna Bhakti is there in your dynasty, because of which Lord ran towards you people, you Pandavas. You Pandavas kept Lord Krishna under complete control because of your Krishna Bhakti. That is greater than having Lord in one's family member. So in that way. Nityanubhuta nijalabha nivritta trishna Shreyasya tad rachanaya chirasupta buddhe lokasya ya karunaya abhayam tatmalokam Akyan namo bhagavate Vrshabhaya tasmai. I offer my respects to Lord Vrshabhadeva. Sukadeva Goswami finally offering his respects unto the Supreme Lord, who, giving up all material thirst, Nivritta Trishna, Nivritta Trishna Rupagiyamana, Babaushada Shrotramano Biramat, Ka Uttama Shloka Gunanuvada. Vina Pashubnath. Last line, something like that. So giving up all material thirst because of eternally experiencing the bliss of his Swarupa, taught by his great mercy, the attainment of Vaikuntha, which removes all fear from people, whose intelligence has been long unaware, the highest goal, since they have been involved in activities for the body. says that I offer respect to Lord Vrshabhadeva, who showed the importance of giving up material thirst because of eternally experiencing the bliss of the Swarupa. He taught by his great mercy how to attain to Vaikuntha easily, which removes all the material fear from people whose intelligence has been long unaware of the highest goal, since they have been involved in activities for the body. Being bodily conscious, we forgot what is the most important thing for us. In order to remind us of us that and how to attain that easily, Lord Vrshabhadeva appeared and performed his wonderful pastimes and took all the living entities back to Godhead. Concluding the story, Sukadeva Goswami offers respects, devoid of material thirst because of realizing constantly the bliss of his Swarupa. Lord Vrshabhadeva instructed through Bhakti Yoga the attainment of Vaikuntha, Atma Lokam, which removes all fears of people whose intelligence was long unaware of the highest goal. Nate vidu swartha gatimti Vishnu durashayaye bahirartha manina. Why they forgot? Because of involvement in activities for the body for a long time. People are involved in bodily activities for many lifetimes. We forgot what is the aim of life. Because of his compassion, he inspired people to understand what is the important thing in life, what is the goal of life. I offer respectful obeisance unto that personality, that Supreme Lord. Like that, Sukadeva Goswami is telling. So, Vrshabhadev's childhood life is very good. Brahmachari ashram. Grahastha ashram also very good. And Vanaprastha ashram, thoda sa difficult. But it is not difficult for the people of the previous 3 yugas. They could follow that. But for the people of Kali Yuga, it will be difficult. They don't understand what is the mood with which he is following. They may see the external things and try to imitate. That will deviate them from the right path. That will lead to fall down. That's why Ashara says that one should not follow, one should not imitate Lord Vrshabhadeva. In Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami, while describing many things in the initial few chapters of Sadhana Bhakti, he says that though we may hear the pastimes of the Lord in his various incarnations, we may take inspiration from them, but we don't worship them. 3 incarnations, we don't worship them. One is Lord Vrshabhadeva, one is Dattatreya, one is Lord Buddha. These 3, we hear about them, we get inspiration, but we don't worship them. And sometimes we don't follow the philosophy of Buddha as well as Dattatreya also. That philosophy also we don't follow. And Vrshabhadeva's activities we don't follow. So these 3 deities, we should be careful. People ask, hey, आपका temple में ये deity नहीं रहता है, वो deity नहीं रहता है? They ask. But that is the reason. Because their philosophies are a little bit away from the regular Shastra. That's why we don't follow their philosophies and we don't worship them. These 3 avatars. Buddha, Dattatreya, Vrshabhadeva.
Generally, we hear a specific reason for Lord Buddha actually teaching certain philosophy.
No, Lord Buddha outwardly rejected scriptures.
Yes, there was a specific reason which
That is only meant for that time period. It is not like that. Vrshabhadeva's thing also, they are meant for past, not for the current. Same way, Buddha's philosophy is also meant for that time period. So later on, other acharyas came and introduced new philosophies, and that should be followed. Whatever the latest should be followed.
So there was a specific reason why Buddha had to actually come and introduce such kind of philosophy.
Yes.
And similarly, the reason over here is given is for a local people to teach the Jnana Yoga.
Yes. For the Jnanis to teach the Jada Yoga, practice in which they can go back to God very quickly. Because they were practicing Jnana for decades after centuries for long lifetime. कुछ नहीं हो रहा है वो जल्दी भेजने के लिए क्या बताएं this process will make you leave and go back to God quickly.
If the person follows this process, where would they actually lead to in the previous ages? What is their
Vaikuntha.
destination?
Vaikuntha. Because internally, he is meditating on Vasudeva that we read many times. He has completely experienced the bliss of Vasudeva. He attained Anubhavas of Lord Vasudeva. But Kali Yuga people cannot understand that. What he is meditating upon internally, we cannot understand. We only see external thing. He was not wearing clothes and wandering like this. If you only do that, like a drama player, is there any benefit? That is understand. But in the past, they could understand why he is doing what he is doing. So with that intention, they could follow that and they could attain perfection immediately.
And what is the reason for Dattatreyas?
That is impersonal philosophy.
Yes, then why did that why was that taught?
That was the need of the hour. There could be some reason. So it was the need of the hour to teach that. He taught that. Even it comes in the Bhagavatam also. The 24 Gurus philosophy. You don't need anyone Guru. You see the nature and understand the teachings from that Guru. And your body itself is your 25th Guru. Like that it says. But that is dangerous now. Kali Yuga, that is what is happening. Self-made personality. That is too dangerous. That is against Shastra for common people. That may be okay for some section of people, not for everyone. That may be good during that time when the teachers are not good. So instead of going to wrong guru, wrong teacher, better go to the nature and learn and perfect your life. But when the right teacher, you cannot neglect right teacher. So in that way. And those teachings are also you're only learning lessons from different things. You are not learning about how to serve the Lord. Because nature में कोई serve करते नहीं Lord को. It is Guru or the human beings are serving the Lord. When we see the devotees, we understand how to serve the Lord. Serving the Lord teachings are not there in that. There is only impersonal teachings are there. Impersonal aspect of the Lord. Lord spread everywhere in the form of good qualities. So in that way. That's why they rejected. Because our Gaudiya Vaishnavism is mostly about service. Not even Aishwarya Bhav. In Madhurya Bhav only. That intimacy. In Vraja Bhav. So that's why our Acharyas, they actually not recommend impersonal philosophy. Even though it is Brahmavad also, they sometimes they say Brahmavad also, no seva means no fun. Don't talk about it. It's like our people, our acharyas are after seva, selfless service like the Brajavasis. That's why they don't appreciate other philosophies so much. Where seva is not recommended. Any other questions? We'll take a small break, then we'll continue with the next chapter. So, activities of King Bharata. Now, Vrshabhadeva ka pastime complete ho gaya. Now, Bharata Maharaj pastime will continue all the way up to 15th chapter. Unka hi chalta hai, unka long story hai. The 7th chapter describes how King Bharata, with strong determination, worshipped the Lord with performance of sacrifices while at home and with flowers while in the forest. Patram pushpam palam toyam, the forest. घर पे यत करोषि यदश्नाश यज्जोष तदुषित यत तपस्ि कौन्तेय tat kurushva madarpanam. Now there are 3 chapters. Interestingly, one chapter talks about Bharata Maharaj as a human being, as a king. Second chapter talks about Bharata Maharaj as a deer. Third chapter talks about Bharata Maharaj as a Brahmana. Like the 3 chapters. And then 4th chapter, the meeting between Bharata, the Brahmana Bharata and King Rahuguna. And then followed by 3 chapters, the teaching, conversation. That is solid philosophy is there. So, unka ho jata hai. So, Bharata Maharaj will go this side, Rahuguna go this side. Parishit Maharaj asked a question. मुझे समझ में नहीं आया क्या चल रहा है इधर. Sukadeva Goswami explained the meaning of the entire the 13th chapter, forest of mental enjoyment, in the 14th chapter. Then 15th chapter gives concluding session of Bharata Maharaj के बाद उनका lineage, उनका संतान, उनका बाकी generations who all continued till the end of the Swayambhu Manvantara. That list of the king's names will come in the 15th chapter. That is only names. So that is the remaining entire thing is about Bharata Maharaj. So in this chapter, As a king, how did he rule at home? How did he worship the Supreme Lord, engaging everything he has? Having gone to forest, how did he worship the Lord? By applying Patram Pushpam Palam to him. So like that. This is Bharat Maharaj. Now 2 chapters, 3 chapters simple रहता है. बाद में 3 chapters are very technical. You need to be vigilant. So 1 to 7 Bharat Maharaj rule and sacrifices, yajnas, and that within 24 Bharat Maharaj descendants, and 8 to 14 talks about Bharat Maharaj retirement and after it said Pulahashrama. Is Vanaprastha life, kingly rule and Vanaprastha life. Sukadeva Goswami says, just as Lord Vrshabha was the Lord, his son Bharata was a great devotee of the Lord. Okay? Bharatastu Mahabhagavata. When he was entrusted by Lord Vrshabha to protect the earth, Avani Tala Paripalanaya, he engaged in ruling and married the daughter of Vishwarupa named Panchajani. Because when his father went to forest, having accepted Vanaprastha order, he made his son next ruler. So he became the ruler and he ruled over nicely. While doing so, he also married Panchajani, the daughter of Vishwarupa. 2 indicates Vrshabhadeva was the Lord and Bharata was a great devotee of the Lord. That is the significance of Bharatastu Mahabhagavato. Krishnastu Ankitastu Bhakta Swayam.
Generally, in that Krishna's to Bhagavan's Swayam, there are series of verses and then Krishna's to Bhagavan's Swayam things. In this case, Bharatas to Mahabhagavato. So,
among the 100 sons, Bharata is Mahabhagavata. Bharata is not only a king, but it is a Mahabhagavata devotee. After father, son becomes king. But here, father also was a king. Son also is a king. But what is the specialty of the father? He is a king as well as the Supreme Lord. What is the specialty of the son? He is a king as well as the Mahabhagavata. So like that. He is a brahmachari as well as a great devotee. So it's like that. Just as the false ego, there are many brahmacharis wearing color clothes also, but not much special. But here, brahmachari and Mahabhagavata.
Those who are from South India, much more. I personally witnessed confidence.
Kaumudi Kanya.
ऐसे लिखा है मैंने प्रोजी को भेजा भी था. In one of the purports, Srila Prabhupada is writing that many of the devotees will be following South India.
Recently, only our Malay Dwaja is from South India. Puranjana stories hai na? That is, there it comes. South Indian provinces are good. Malay Dwaja, king of the Pandya dynasty, is from South India. He is the greatest of devotees. He has become the husband of Vaidarbi. By serving him, she gets the opportunity to get the association of Paramatma. So it's like that. Thank you for boosting our false ego.
No, Guruji, it's really in purport or in translation.
Just as the false ego creates the subtle sense objects, Maharaj Bharata created 5 sons in the womb of Panchajani, his wife. Their names are Sumati, Rashtabruta, Sudarshana, Avarana, and Dhumraketu. There is a philosophical point here also. After marriage, children are born. There is no problem in that. But false ego creates sense objects. Because false ego always looks for sense enjoyment. The sense enjoyment comes from the sense objects. It is false ego which identifies the sense objects which are prospective candidates for sense gratification. So like that. Similarly, as a matter of marriage, as a matter of duty, he has to beget children. He begot 5 children, 5 sons. Sumati, Rashtrabhadra, Sudarshana, Avarana, and Dhumraketu. Yes, Prabhu.
Why such kind of comparison has been given to Bharat Maharaj from the creating place?
No, it is not given as a comparison like that. See, after marriage, there is affection between wife and husband. The begetting children is an activity of dharma, grosa dharma, as well as an activity of enjoyment also. So in that way. So like that you can see. Just as false ego creates subtle sense objects, Maharaj Bharata created 5 sons. It is not an object of sense gratification for Bharata Maharaj, but for us, it is an object of sense gratification. So like that. So like that you should see. Bhutader eva bhuta sukshmani atmana pancha atmajan krishnena anurupa janayan asa. So it's like that. The place was known as Ajnaba Varsha, but from Maharaj Bharata's reign, it has become known as Bharata Varsha. Ajnamam namaitad Varsham Bharatam iti yata arabhya vepadishanti. When Nabi was ruling, it was known as Nabi Varsha. So that is what the arrangement made by his father. Who was the father of Nabi? Agnidra. Agnidra, after marrying the Purvachitti sent by Lord Brahma, they gave birth to 9 sons. He divided entire Jambudvipa into 9 divisions, gave them to 9 sons, named them after the names of their sons. The eldest was Nabi, that was known as Nabi Varsha. Nabi had a son, Lord Vrshabhadeva. So Nabi's son is called as Ajnaba. Aja means unborn. Lord appeared as the son of Nabi. That's why it's called Ajnaba. When Lord Vrshabhadeva was ruling, it was known as Ajnaba Varsha. Later, when it was given to Bharata Maharaj, it became known as Bharata Varsha. That is the greatness of Bharata Maharaj. Because its ruler was the son of Nabi, the abode was known as Ajnaba Varsha, which was previously known as Nabi Varsha, while Nabi was ruling. Ajnaba means the country belonging to Lord Vrshabha and Nabi. Eventually, the land became known as Bharata Varsha because of Maharaj Bharata ruled it afterwards. All these 3 personalities are great souls. That's why their names are given to the land in which they are ruling. It's like that. Then what happened? Maharaj Bharata, a learned king, like his father and grandfather, engaged in his own duties and engaged the citizens in their duties with great affection. This is the duty of the king. He should engage in his own duties properly. He should engage his citizens also in their duties properly. That is the duty of the leader. Not only from the king, even ashram point of view also. The leader should engage in their duties properly. They should make sure that the followers also engage in their duties properly. Prabhuji is in duty till now. So like that. Like master, like servant. Yata Raja, Tata Praja. Bharata constantly worshipped the Lord, who is the form of sacrifice, with and without offering of animals. Yajna Kratu Rupam. Ijecha Bhagavantam Anusavanam Yajna Kratu Rupam. Yajna means a sacrifice in which there is no animal killing. Kratu means a sacrifice in which there is animal killing. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yajnanam. So in Japa Yajna, there is no animal killing. That's why Japa comes under the category of Yajna. Ashwamedha Yajna, Gomedha Yajna, and all they are in the category of Kratu. So like that. So he worshipped he worshipped the Supreme Lord by the performance of various yajnas. That was the normal rule. Through large and small sacrifices named Agnihotra, Darsha, Purnamasa, Chaturmasya, animal sacrifice and Soma sacrifices. Complete or partial according to the rules involving 4 priests, Chaturhotra Vidana, Hota, Udgata, Advaryu and Brahman. The 4 priests, which are accepted with faith by the Karamis. Shraddhaya Ahruta. Because he was a king, most probably seems that Bharata Maharaj was ruling that time, it was Treta Yuga. So Yajna is a bona fide path of sadhana. So he was performing different variety of sacrifices. Some involved animal killing, some involved no animal killing. And some names are mentioned, something like Agnihotra Yajna, Darsha Yajna, Purnamasa Yajna, Chaturmasa Yajna, and like that. According to the need of the hour, according to the guidance of the Brahmanas and priests, Kulaguru, etc., etc., he was continuously engaged in performance of yajnas. Because that was the required thing. A king supposed to perform yajnas for the benefit of the citizens. And especially citizens, the majority of citizens would follow karma yoga. That's what we said. People in general follow karma. Some of them might follow sakama karma, some of them might follow nishkama karma yoga, but karma is the basic point. In order to inspire them, in order to encourage them to continue in the proper direction, the king generally performs yajna. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, chapter 3, text number 14. Chapter 3, text number 14. That is verse number 8. I am asking verse number 14. Verse number 13 क्या है? Chapter 3, verse number 13. Famous verse. आप लोग प्रीचर से सब जगह पर कोट करना चाहिए वो वर्स. हाँ 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 बताओ, पूरा बताओ शुरू से एंड तक. Not fourth chapter, third chapter. हाँ हाँ मतलब क्या है? मतलब क्या है? मतलब क्या है? हाँ लाउडर फूड मिलाने लगता है सुबह से. देन डाइजेस्ट हो गया ऑलरेडी. थोड़ा सा हो गया, नहीं हवा नहीं निकल रहे. What is the meaning of the verse? Yes, sir. Our scholar.
All living beings depends.
हाँ
All
हाँ
living beings depends on
हाँ
the food grains, and food grains are obtained by
हाँ.
performing yajnas.
श्लोक ऐसा है क्या? श्लोक के हिसाब से बता दो. वो बता, स्कॉलर बता रहे.
Annad bhavanti bhutani. The living entities will have substance on anna. And parjanyad anna sambhava. Food grains are actually dependent on the rainfall. Yagnad bhavati parjanyo. The rainfalls are dependent on the yagna. Yagna karma samudbhava. So
मतलब क्या है?
So the yagnas are dependent on the performance of karma.
Yajnas depend upon performance of one's varnashrama duties. That is more important. When people all perform varnashrama duties, their part of yajna is accomplished. When they perform their duties properly, they will donate to the king. King uses all the amount to perform yajna on behalf of all people. So whatever benefit of the yajna is there, that will be for everyone. So like that. So performance of varnashram duties, individual level is very important. At the king level, he will do yajna based on the taxes collected from all people. And that will bring forth good rains. That will bring forth food grains, which are for everyone. Not only for human beings, even for the animals also, they need grasses. Grass also comes only when there is rain. When herbivorous animals eat grass, they will become flesh for the carnivorous animals. Like that, they will subsist. Like everyone depends upon rain. Rain depends upon yajna. Yajna depends upon performance of one's regulative or one's varnashrama duties. Yajna karma samudbhava. How do you understand what I am supposed to do? Who will tell me? Huh? Next verse. क्या भक्ति शास्त्र किया आप लोग?
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवम बुद्धि.
मतलब what duties we are supposed to do, it will be mentioned in the Vedic literature. Here Brahma means Vedic literature. What are the Vedic literatures? Brahmas given by the Vedic literatures are given by the Supreme Lord, who is known Akshara, absolute truth. Therefore, the absolute truth is spread everywhere in the form of varnashram duties. Therefore, by executing varnashram duties, perform yajna, which is beneficial for everyone. When we perform yajna, devatas get their food. Then they will give rain, wind, sunlight, moonlight, whatever else. Our yajna will sustain them, our yajna will sustain us also.
Now in the Kali Yuga, we see very rarely the yajnas are being done.
हाँ,
But many of the things are still actually
yeah.
showered.
जो last century में किया उसका results we are enjoying now. What we are doing now, next century they will enjoy, whether good or bad. There is an inertia factor also there. What we are enjoying now is the effect of our previous life activities. What we are doing now will experience in the next life. Prepare your future wisely. Okay? Generally, for whatever we do, we don't suffer immediately. We suffer in the future. Sometimes we may get reaction immediately. Some part of reaction comes immediately, but majority portion will come in the future. Because we have lot of sanchit karma, lot of क्या बोलते हैं? Lot of prarabdha karma is there, lot of aparadha is also there. What we are doing now, it is like it is somewhere in the behind. It is like first in first out. Okay? अभी हम जो कर रहे हैं वो पीछे पीछे जमा हो रहा है. पहले पुराना क्लियर करने का, बाद में ये आएगा. तब तक पता नहीं क्या होगा. इसलिए कर्म को एक्स्ट्रा एक्मुलेट नहीं करने का. आपका जैसा शुद्ध भक्त बनना चाहिए.
which में पंच
So Bharata Maharaj being a king and being a king and being a devotee constantly worship the Lord by the performance of different variety of yajnas. This is the duty of the king also to perform yajna, and the duty of the yuga also to perform yajna. So in that way, he is performing yajnas one after the other, which are meant for worship the Supreme Lord. He worshipped the Supreme Lord, who is the form of sacrifice, without and with animal offerings, through large and small animal sacrifices. Because some sacrifices involve animal killing, some sacrifices do not involve animal killing. But either way, he was doing it. That's king, he need to do. He performed these with all elements and with fewer elements. By these two types, he performed the sacrifice. Matlab, sometimes he did the elaborate yajna, sometimes he did a simple yajna. Both he did. To need of the hour. So in that way. So Bharata Maharaj primarily he worshipped the Supreme Lord. Maybe inner chambers he may be doing deity worship, but as the king externally was doing yajna. One may question, यज्ञ का यज्ञ वर्शिप कैसे हो सकता है? लाइक प्रश्न पूछ सकते कोई लोग. यज्ञ तो यज्ञ है, वो भगवान का वर्शिप कैसे होगा? डीटी वर्शिप तो मंदिर के अंदर होता है. कोई प्रश्न पूछ सकते हैं. उसका आंसर नेक्स्ट वर्स में दिया गया. उसके प्रभुपाद जी ने बहुत बड़ा परपट लिखते हैं. In performance of various sacrifices, with execution of all parts, yajna involves so many things. Bharata thought of astonishing results of the sacrifice. Bharata thought of astonishing result of the sacrifices, that is dharma, as an offering to the Supreme Brahman, the supreme object of worship. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir. Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam. Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. So that should be the mentality of the person who performing the yajna. He should think that all the ingredients are the manifestation of the Supreme Lord. This yajna is Supreme Lord. The yajna Purusha is the Supreme Lord. I am offering everything manifested by him into him as an offering unto him. And this entire activity itself is a activity of Brahman. That means it is a Daiva Karya. That's all. That's how the yajna becomes bhakti. Simple. Ah! Where is your Bhaksha certificate? दे दो, वापस लेता हूँ. नहीं
रोज मिलेंगे तो कैसे देंगे?
नहीं मिलेगा, नहीं मिलेगा. 424 I think. Maybe it may not be 24, but वही रेंज में रहता है. आगे पीछे एक दो श्लोक में वही रेंज में रहता है, वही चैप्टर में रहता है, वही जगह पर. I am learning Bhagavad Gita by your causeless mercy.
Different types of yajnas are mentioned.
Thank you.
So you are the essence seeker.
There was a book, Bhagavatam the Seeker Journey. All our friends say Shaker Journey. So it's like that. In performance of various sacrifices, with execution of all parts, Bharata Maharaj thought of astonishing results of the sacrifice, that is dharma, as an offering to Supreme Lord. He is performing all the yajnas as a matter of his dharma, Raja Dharma, and is offering it as a seva unto Supreme Lord, as an offering to Supreme Lord, Supreme Brahman, the supreme object of worship, Paradevatayam, Lord Vasudeva, Bhagavati Vasudeva, the ultimate performer of all actions. What is that Brahma Samhita first prayer? Ishvara, Paramakrishna, Nanda Vigraha, Anadi Radhir Govinda, Sakala Kartari, Sakshat Kartari is the ultimate doer of everything. Recipient of all sacrifices, Yajna Purusha. Ahami Sarva Yajnanam. Ahami Sarva Yajnanam Bhokta Cha. Next क्या है? Itimam yobi janati tatve natas chavantite. He who knows me that I am this, that person will never be disturbed by the opposite philosophies. Tatve natas chavantite, he will never fall down from the true tattva. We should understand that aham yi sarva yajnanam bhoktacha prabhurevacha. The Supreme Lord is the ultimate enjoyer and ultimate result giver and ultimate controller of everything that we do. 5th chapter, last verse. Bhoktaram Sarvaloka Suhrudam Jnatva Mam शांति मुचति मतलब क्या है? क्या मिलेगा? मतलब क्या है? ये तो पीस बोल रहे हैं. पीस मतलब क्या है? ये तो ट्रांसडेंस बोल रहे हैं. पीस मतलब क्या है? ट्रांसडेंस मतलब क्या है? 3 modes. Krishna, Krishna. Peace मतलब?
Peace from the material. ऐसा translation.
Peace from the 3 types of material pangs. 3 modes. Krishna, Krishna. नया नया parts दे रहा है. Shanti Muchate means they'll go back to Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavatam, Shanti means attaining liberation. Any one of the 5 liberations. Sahaja, Sarupya, Sarishta, Samipya, Salokya. That is Shanti. हमको पता नहीं बाबा, आपका इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेट मतलब कुछ भी हो सकता है. ट्रांसलेट मतलब हाँ, मतलब क्या, कहाँ जाएंगे?
That is anything of all the 5 liberations.
Does it give that meaning? Transcendence will give.
Effects of 3 modes means from Sahaja to God.
You ask anyone, what do you mean by transcendence? Outside they'll say. But that you don't discuss anything, just ask some senior brahmacharis. What is the meaning of transcendence? Let us discuss what they have said. Till tomorrow morning class time, you ask some 4 or 5 brahmacharis. You also ask 4 or 5 other different brahmacharis. Let us see what is the meaning of the transcendence.
Transcendence मतलब beyond the material.
You ask them now, whatever it is. Let us see what they say.
Vyavaharik,
No Vyavaharik, no Paritoshik, no Paritoshik. Transcendence means what is the direct meaning they'll give. See, transcendence means beyond 3 modes. That is okay. That is transcendental. That is Turiya platform. That is fine. Where is that? How is that manifested? Where it is manifested? Oh, when you say Shanti Mrichate means Lord Krishna is telling that one who understands about me like this, that gives them necessary qualification to come to spiritual world. They attain liberation. Shanti means from Acharya's commentary, they attain liberation. Attaining transcendence, they can be here only they will attain Jivan Mukta platform mein rahega. That does not give the meaning of going back to Godhead. But here we should see the meaning as going back to Godhead. यार हम यूज करते हैं normally when somebody is acting inappropriately, we say he is transcendental.
That is Vyavaharik.
So that's why the meaning changes from time to time, place to place. But what is the Shastric meaning? We have to be clear. अवधूत मतलब क्या है? Outside people say that if somebody is acting and unnaturally, we say अवधूत. But last chapter में अवधूत मतलब क्या है? अवधूत मतलब he is indifferent to external, he is indifferent to external surroundings, but internally is completely submerged in the bliss of Krishna Prema. Is our अवधूत also in the bliss of Krishna Prema? See, he understood about me. So let's continue. So what did you do? As a king, he was performing various sacrifices and doing it as an offering to Supreme Lord, as a duty to Supreme Lord. Who is the Supreme Lord? The Supreme Lord is the Supreme Brahman, is the supreme object of worship, is Vasudeva, is the ultimate performer of all the activities, is the recipient of all the sacrifices, Yajna Purusha. Since Vasudeva alone is the controller of all the Devatas. Artha Niyama Kataya. What is the name of Krishna book in Hindi? Krishna book in Hindi. Okay, Devati Deva. हिंदी कृष्ण बुक पे ऐसे क्या
कैप्शन के ऊपर से ऐसे लीला पुरुष
बस उतने ही रहते क्या मराठी में
पूर्ण पुरुष
ऐसा है क्या पर देवा देवा कहाँ पे आते हैं
तेलुगु में हो जाता है
तेलुगु so he is the lord of all the devatas, so in that way. Who are the subject of the mantras? Mantranam, all the mantras are meant to glorify him only, which have the power to reveal those devatas. Sarva devata linganam. All the mantras that are chanted in the yajna will reveal the devatas, but they are ultimately meant to indicate to the Supreme Lord. Having destroyed all impressions of karma by skillful actions, when having the Advaryu priest perform rites, Bharata, the sponsor of the sacrifice, meditated on the devatas, the recipients of the sacrifices, at the limbs of the Lord, Purusha Avayaveshu, Yajna Bhujo Devan. In the Yajna, when it is chanted, Idam Indraya Swaha, Idam Namama, one may think that, okay, this offering is meant for Lord Indra, who gives me rain. But Vrshabhadeva is thinking that this offering is given to Indra, who is the hands of Lord Vishnu. That's how you would think. You would see all the devatas as the different bodily limbs of universal form or Lord Vishnu. आप लोग पढ़ा किया ना बहुत तरह सेकंड कैंटो थर्ड कैंटो भगवद गीता so many times विराट रूप के बारे में पढ़ाई किया so it's like that. While offering the oblations unto different devatas, you would always meditate that this is for so and so limb of my worshipful Lord. When offering to Surya, idam Surya nama idam nama, this offering is meant for Surya, who is the eye of my wonderful Lord. So like that. So he would make that yajna into wonderful bhakti activity. That's how Bharata Maharaja performed all the yajnas as a worship of the Supreme Lord. The Lord has said, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, text number 20, chapter number 20, text number 9. One should continue to perform the Vedic ritualistic activities until one actually becomes detached from material sense gratification and develops faith for hearing and chanting about me. Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata matkata shravanadova shraddha yavanna jayate. So there is one chapter, 20 chapter and 25 chapter talks about what is the qualification to start a particular sadhana. What is the qualification to practice karma? What is the qualification to practice jnana? And what is the qualification to practice bhakti? Qualification to practice bhakti is Yadruchaya Madkatado Jata Shraddhotu Yapuman. Yadruchaya Matkatado Jata Shraddhotu Yapman. Nanirvinno Natsakto Bhakti Yoga se Siddhida. Verse number 9, verse पता है वो चाहे तो गूगल कर लो बाद में. So the meaning is somehow or other by the inspiration of Paramatma there should be inclination or faith in the topics of the Supreme Lord. मतलब क्या? To hear the topics, to discuss the topics, to meditate upon the topics. Oh, faith generate होगा somehow or other. That is the first qualification. Second qualification is non-nirvinno. They should not be too much detached from this material world. And na achisakto. They are also not too attached to the material world. The karmis are supposed to be ati asakta. The jnanis are supposed to be nirvinna, ati nirvinna. The devotees are supposed to be in the middle. Because karmis are interested in enjoying the material world. Unless until one is asakta, I cannot enjoy. The jnanis are supposed to be renouncing the material world. Unless until they are detached. Not superficial detachment, complete detachment. Unless until they have that, they cannot take to sannyas or vanaprastha and practice your austerities. So jnana qualification is ati nirvinna. Karma qualification is ati asakta. But bhakti qualification is they are not too much attached like the karmis. They are not too much detached like the jnanis. They should be in between. That means they should maintain all the facilities they have, but they should use everything in the service of Supreme Lord, not for their own sense gratification. Karmis use all the facilities for their own sense gratification. Jnani say, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. The Jagat Pura Mithya, kuch se kaam nahi. But devotees are not like that. Devotees take everything that they have, but use in the service of the Supreme Lord. Prabhuji is using mobile. Prabhuji is using smart wristwatch. I am using laptop. Supposed to use in the service of the Lord. He is using smartwatch.
No,
With Prabhuji, it becomes smart. He is the student of the smart, our smart teacher. Everything becomes smart. So, that is the qualification of devotee. In addition to these two, the most important qualification is they have faith in the topics of Supreme Lord. To hear the topics, to discuss, to meditate upon, to worship the Lord. That is the qualification to begin bhakti. If one do not have that qualification, in order to get that qualification, or till one is supposed to get that qualification, one should practice varnashram duties.
faith in hearing about the past.
Yadrichya mat kata adau, nama rupa guna lila. So, in that way. If one does not have that complete faith and na nirvinna na sakta, till then, instead of going to jnana, continue karma. Tavat karmani kurvita na niravidyata yavata. Mat kata shravana dova shraddha yavana na jayate. As long as mat kata श्रवण के प्रति श्रद्धा नहीं आएगा, जब तक श्रद्धा आएगा तब तक कर्म करते रहो. Because karma and bhakti are almost similar. Yesterday we discussed na. Karma means offering bhoga once in a season. Bhakti means offering bhoga every day, every meal. That's all. दोनों same ही in one sense. Karma means worshipping different devatas. Bhakti means worshipping the source of all the devatas, the Supreme Lord Vishnu.
So here in this context, karma indicates the karma yoga or karma.
Sakama karma. No problem. Sakama karma, nishkama karma, जो भी है कर्म करते रहो बस. With attachment or with little bit detachment जो भी है करते रहो. जब तक भगवान के प्रति आसक्ति आएगा तब तक करते रहो. आसक्ति आएगा ना भक्ति चालू करो बस.
So this is like when they actually attain that Matkata Shravana, that Shraddha, then they will not be actually performing they are not dependent on actually performing the
Not like that. Till the time they get this qualification, it is like zero here, zero bhakti, 100% karma, 100% karma, zero bhakti, 100% bhakti, zero karma. So when your bhakti is not more than 50%, your karma is more than 50%, No problem. Karte raho. Slowly move from here. 100% karma is 99 karma, 1% bhakti. Dhire up to 50% you come. Then when you enter into 51, automatically all your varna smriti becomes bhakti. Before 50% it is called bhakti mishra karma. After 50% it is called karma mishra bhakti. So like that. Before that karma is prominent, that's why it becomes karma yoga. After 50%, bhakti is prominent because bhakti yoga.
Because of the mercy of the Acharyas,
Whatever.
we have actually been given the understanding that our goal is this bhakti. So, given the understanding that this is the goal, theoretically goal.
We'll take Pada Rajovisekam. Okay, continue.
Theoretically, we have been actually given that this is the goal. That is what Srila Prabhupada. So, our aspirations would actually start there. So, would we be actually coming, because our aspirations are there, would we be coming actually below 50 or above 50? Where do we actually identify? Because we have been given that understanding. I'm not saying that.
Ideally, currently we should be after 50. We should be here in this area. We should not be here. If we are here, some serious problem is there. Yes, outside people say na work is worship. Yes. They are in this area. Correct. And we say whatever we do as an offering to Supreme Lord. So in the Bhagavad Gita, there are different varieties of karmas are introduced. Nitya karma, Naimiti karma, Kame karmas. Okay? The karma yogis, they do not offer Nitya karmas to Supreme Lord. Nitya karmas mean daily varnashram duties. They don't offer. Only Naimiti karmas and Kame karmas only they offer to Supreme Lord. The special occasional duties. Like offering Bhoga only once in a season, on the special day, on festival days, on Tithi days only they offer special sevas unto Supreme Lord. Like 2 days back, there was Vaikuntha Ekadashi. Whole South India, especially the Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and all, they fast literally whole day. Other Ekadashis, for them, like normal day only. That is Naimitika Seva. That day, they do special bhakti. That is Bhakti Mishra Karma. Normally, every day in day out, they do their duties, Varnashrama duties. But on that special day, they do special devotional activities. That is, they have only bhakti element restricted to the special days only. Okay, that is called Bhakti Mishra Karma. It is basically karma, but thoda bhakti hai. Isliye it becomes karma yoga. But we devotees, we are above 50%. We supposed to offer all the karmas, Nitya karmas, Naimitya karmas, Kame karmas, everything we should offer to Supreme Lord. That is the difference between the devotees and the karmis. The karma yogis offer only Naimitya and Kame karmas to Supreme Lord. Nitya karma they do as usual. हर एक चीज भगवान क्या भगवान को गुस्सा आएगा ऐसा मत बोलो ऐसा बोलो बट फॉर अस पीने का पानी भी हम ऑफर करते हैं so that is bhakti karma mishra bhakti. Doing activity is karma, but we are doing that activity as an offering to Supreme Lord. That's how it becomes karma mishra bhakti. They are cleaning their home, we are cleaning our temple. This is also cleaning, that is also cleaning. But this is karma mishra bhakti, that is bhakti mishra karma. We are eating, they are also eating. We eat every meal after offering to Supreme Lord. That is karma mishra bhakti. They eat every meal after. They don't offer every meal to Supreme Lord. They honor it. So it's like that. That is the difference we have to see between those two. If one does not come to this point of 51%, till the time one comes to 51%, one should continue to do all these things. If you don't do this, if you come out of this, very difficult to come to 51. We should be on the track, and then only we can come to 51. Na? That is the meaning of this verse. Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyate yavata mat kata shravana dova shraddha yavanna jayate. Till the time one develop that shraddha that whatever I do, I should offer to Krishna. That faith, when it comes to them, till then, at least they should offer once in Ekadashi. Or not in once in every Ekadashi, but once in a season. And special days like Ekadashi, Ramanavami, Janmashtami. धीरे धीरे करते 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 वो faith जागृत होगा. उसके बाद they start offering every meal. I'm giving an example, but like that every activity.
Traditionally, this is the process. But, the great acharyas, when they have actually come, they have actually given the Shraddha directly to those people, where irrespective of the background, they have started from 50 plus.
No, even the day when we start 51 or so, before that also we are doing all these things. Are you not going to any temple before becoming ISKCON devotee? Are you not visiting any holy places, any temples?
Yeah.
You are not. Are you atheist before that? No, na. That is all karma yoga.
Not
The
only
Indian
this, but
traditional Indian any
cultural
cultural family in India, they are all practicing karma yoga. That is the default setting.
Westerners, if
वो
I have
पता
to
नहीं.
introduce all the Westerners also, should they understand that they have done it in the past,
हाँ,
or this
yes.
is the acharyas?
या past life का भी हम बोल सकते हैं. Past life में क्या होगा? Because even the West also, in their location, they might be having some sattvic nature also, na. See, from your point of view, karma yoga, you may say that only devata worship. They are not doing devata worship. How can you say that? Not necessarily devata worship. They must be having that cultural. Uh, devata worship means when you go to devata's temple and all, you become compassionate to help others. You give some charity.
That does not accept everything.
Why not?
With respect to connecting with Krishna, that would be like the material.
If you don't have that mentality of helping somebody, you will not come to sadhus also. That culture is that's why they came to sadhu. Helping someone, serving someone, that culture is there, then only they come to sadhu. अभी आप किसी को सेवा नहीं किया, अचानक साधु को सेवा करेंगे क्या? आप सबको सेवा कर रहे हैं इसलिए साधु को भी सेवा किया. सर्विंग एवरीवन बिकम्स पुण्य, सर्विंग साधु बिकम्स सुकृति. बट वो कल्चर तो रहना चाहिए ना. वो कल्चर नहीं हो तो इधर क्या करेंगे? That culture is there whether in India or abroad also, that culture is there. So in that way they had some piety. So when a sadhu came in their life, they continued the same mood with respect to sadhu. That became sukriti, that created qualification by the mercy of sadhu. Mass seva leads to satam krupa. But mass seva kaise aayega? Mass seva comes only when they have the culture of serving people in general.
It's accident. The sadhu's intervention in the life is.
See, you are not getting Prabhuji. If a person does not have any culture of giving some charity to common people, when you see outside people are in misery, you don't have culture to give something them. Will you give a sadhu also when sadhu comes in front of you? वो culture की बात कर रहा हूँ. When a person is giving some charity to a person in needy, then you will understand कि ये person से compare करते हो ये साधु बहुत need है. इनको ज्यादा नहीं, इनको देगा तो और ज्यादा मतलब he will do something greater benefit to society. So he will give more to the sadhu. That creates sukriti. कल्चर रहना चाहिए ना. वो कल्चर के बिना महासेवा कैसे होगा? महासेवा के बिना सुकृति कैसे मिलेगा? So culture also plays a pivotal role. What was the verse from 18th chapter? यज्ञ दान तपः शौचम पावनानि. then next line क्या है? इंग्लिश नहीं, संस्कृत.
यज्ञ दान तप कर्म न त्याज्यमिति चाप.
One should never give them up. यज्ञ दान तप, one should never give up. The outside people, even though it may be Maharaja, Mahashivratri also they fast. That is good. They are doing something. It is better than doing nothing. Fast on Ekadashi, fast on Shivaratri, fast on this day, that day, no problem. When they come to Krishna, it becomes easy for them to carry forward the culture. उनका already culture है. Just only the for whom they are going to do is only different. Otherwise, culture is already there. कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं. कल्चर नहीं रहेगा तो ये करना मुश्किल होगा. भक्ति करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. Are you getting? In India, people have that culture. So when bhakti comes in their life, it becomes very easy to adopt bhakti. This is my understanding. 1 paisa worth of understanding. I may be wrong also. So it's like that. So here is Lord Krishna telling that. See now, any typical Indian, if you say Krishna, we should serve Krishna, they say why Krishna only? Why not somebody else? Because they don't have proper understanding, that question comes. For them, they treat everyone should be respected. Ganesh also should be respected and everyone should be respected. So we cannot say only one person. So, but when they hear about Krishna from a pure soul, they understand. Yes. Why Krishna? Because Krishna is the Lord of every devata that we are worshipping. Worshipping Krishna accomplishes worship of all the devatas. When they are convinced, they dovetail the same culture unto Krishna. बस हो गया उनका dovetailing is very easy. They don't have any difficulty in doing that. थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम रहता है, टी कॉफी बंद करना मुश्किल होता है, उसके थोड़ा सा कष्ट करना पड़ता है. So otherwise normal. Culture is important. But unfortunately, nowadays, because of the modern education policies and so many things, media and all, that culture also becoming a foreign thing. Slowly, slowly, slowly. So much sense gratification, so much deviation, so much this, that. And even among the sadhus also, there is so much exposure of unloyalty, duplicity, that also creates a negative impression on the entire sadhu community. सब ऐसे ही है. एक बार उनका मन में बैठ गया ना, they will not listen to anybody. So these problems are there. Unless until they see, they observe for a long time genuinity of a sadhu, they will not open up. So it's like that. Otherwise, if you see people, generally they are attracted to spiritual culture. Anywhere something, majority people are following, na, they easily adapt to it. Prabhuji knows what all happens in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Telangana. When majority are going after, na, every stall will follow simply because they see majority. सब लोग फॉलो करें मतलब it's something meaningful, something worthwhile होता है. बाद में it may prove wrong also, but still as long as it is there, they follow. That culture is still there. But this is also there in the previous generation. In the modern generation, people become very skeptic. The modern boys and girls, they are too skeptic. That is what education is doing. Robbing them of that surrender. श्रद्धा को निकाल दे रहे. It's Prabhuji's duty सबका to give them that श्रद्धा वापस. Let's continue. How is that Bharata, a person qualified for pure devotion with deep faith in topics of the Lord and without material desire, performed karma yoga and enjoyed its results? This verse explains. The previous verse talks that he continuously performing so many yajnas. The devotees will question, ऐसा कैसे बाबा? यज्ञ कर रहे क्या? क्या कर रहे? कर्मकांड रिचुअल्स. ये डिवोटी है, अर्चना करना चाहिए, यज्ञ क्यों कर रहे हैं? ऐसा प्रश्न पूछ सकते. उसका समाधान है श्लोका. When he performed various sacrifices in which all the elements were executed, there was an astonishing rule called dharma, result called dharma. Execution of yajna accomplishes one's varnashram dharma. He is a king. He is a devotee religious king. So he should perform yajna. His dharma is accomplished. But while executing yajna, which is his dharma, he thought of these results as an offering to Supreme Brahman. कर्मण्ये हाँ माँ फलेशु किसके लिए फल किसके लिए कर्मण्यवाधिकार से माँ फलेशु कदाचन. आई हैव अधिकार फॉर कर्म नॉट फॉर फल, बट फल किसके लिए? He thought of these results as an offering to Supreme Brahman. यत् करोषि यदश्नासि यज्जुहोषि तदाशयत् यत् तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत् कुरुष्व. Bhakti means offer the activity at Supreme Lord and then perform. The result belongs to whom? That's all. Unto Vasudeva, his deity. He thought, I do not have any desire for the results of the sacrifice. The sacrifice itself for the pleasure of Lord Vasudeva. The sacrifice is offered to Lord Vasudeva. It is not mine. ये sacrifice मेरा नहीं, उनका फल मेरा कैसे होगा? That is the thought process of Lord Vasudeva. That should be the thought process, not that's the thought process of Lord Bharat Maharaj. And that should be the thought process of ourselves. When we do something, we should say that ये भगवान की एक्टिविटी है, इसका फल से मेरा कोई संबंध नहीं. That should be the mode of a sadhaka. Difficult to obtain, but we need to train ourselves to get that. Are you getting? The Mimamsakas believe, Karma Mimamsakas believe, however, that the results are for the performer. If the desires for the results of the performer are prominent, or for the devatas, where the actions were directed predominantly to devatas. The meaning is okay. Kama karma. The performer performs a kama karma with an intention to get the results. He is entitled to get the results because karma itself is a kama karma. Then yajna, when he's saying that idam indraya swaha idam nama, that oblation is meant for Indra, not for me. Clear? The mantra itself is clearly saying. So if it is kama karma, result is meant for the Yajaman. If it is yajna, result is meant for the devatas. Since Bharata was without material desires, he is not performing kama karma. The results should go to the devatas. That's what the Mimamsakas may say. So Bharata has no results, no desires. So he should go for the devatas. Why then did Bharata think of offering the results only to Vasudeva when there are many devatas like Chandra and Surya? Why was he thinking that this is meant for this offering which is offered in the name of Chandra? Idam Chandraya Swaha Idam Nama. Let this be an offering to the mind of my Lord. How can you think like that? Mantra is saying this is for Chandra. What right does he has to think that this is meant for Lord's mind? Like that Mimamsakaras are questioning. Right, na? उनका प्रश्न भी सही है. He thought of Lord Vasudeva, the enjoyer of results of the sacrifice, because he is the Yajna Purusha. Ahami sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. And the controller of all the devatas, who are the goals of the mantras which reveal the devatas. Aham adiri devanam maharshi nam cha sarvasha. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattam sarvam pravartate. He is the source of devatas, he is the source of the rishis, he is the source of the mantras. Though the mantras are saying that it is meant for devata, but the source of mantra, source of devata is Lord. It should be meant for Lord, ultimately. So what's wrong in Bharat Maharaj? No wrong. This is a devotee says. He thought of Lord Vasudeva, the enjoyer of results of the sacrifices. Ultimate enjoyer of sacrifice is the Supreme Lord. Though this mantra locally might be saying this is meant for Indra, but the conclusion of Indra Yajna says that ultimately the ultimate enjoyer of Yajna is Lord Vasudeva only. It is he manifesting in the form of devatas. It is he manifesting in the form of the Ritvijas, the four types of the priests. It is he manifesting in the form of all the ingredients. He is supposed to be entitled to enjoy. Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Havir, Brahma Agno, Brahmana Utam, Brahma Vatena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Everything is him only. Everything meant for him only. So, like that. He is the controller of the other devatas, who are the goals of the mantras which reveal the devatas. Bharata may not be the enjoyer, but he cannot avoid being the performer of the sacrifice. Okay, आप लोग जो बोल रहे सही है. He may not enjoy because he's telling it meant for Lord, but you cannot say that he is not performing the sacrifice. He is the performer of the sacrifice. Karmanya vadhikarasya. He has adhikari, the king, is doing the sacrifice. You can, because he is supposed to be told that he is the performer of so many yajnas. Then our devotees say no. Vasudeva is also the performer, since he is the independent doer, inspiring all others to action as the antaryami of all beings. Mimamsakas, when they say that no, Bharata is only doing, you should say that he is the doer. Devotees say no, he is not the doer. The ultimate doer is Vasudeva. It is he inspiring him to do this. It is he accomplishing this sacrifice through the medium of Bharata's body. Bharata has nothing to do this. 18 chapter 6th verse.
एतान्यकृतकर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति निर्वर्त्य निश्चितं मतम् उत्तमम्.
It's Lord's mata. It's Lord's opinion. He says that etani apitu karmani, all one's varnashram duties, all one's bhakti activities, whatever it is, yajna dana tapa. Etani apitu karmani, sangam tektva, phalam tektva. One should perform them sangam tektva, without having the identity as I am the doer. While performing every activity, we should not say that I am the doer. Because when we say I am the doer, it follows I am the enjoyer. Then that's why phalam tektva. Sangam tektva, phalam tektva. I am not the doer. I am not the enjoyer. Then one may question, why should I perform? If I am not the doer, I am not the enjoyer, why should I do? कुछ तो मिलना चाहिए ना. चलेगा फलम मेरा नहीं, भगवान के लिए और समाज के लिए कम से कम इतना तो मिलना चाहिए. मैं किया करके बोलना चाहिए. Why should I do otherwise? Lord says kartavyaniti me partha. You should do as a matter of duty only. Because you have been born in Kshatriya family, you have been trained in that particular lifestyle, you should execute your duty because you have received the training. Duty के नाम से करने का बस. That is the best way of performing activity. This is my opinion. Who is the doer? ऊपर वाला. Who is the enjoyer? ऊपर वाला. आप क्या कर रहे हैं? मेरा ड्यूटी कर रहा हूँ बस. कर्तव्यम निभा रहा हूँ. आज रात को नींद नहीं आएगा. The sponsor of the sacrifice, who is not independent, is not the performer. The Lord is only independent person. But the king, though he is sponsoring externally, but he is not independent. Thus, he is not the ultimate performer. Only independent person can become the ultimate performer. A dependent person cannot be said is the performer. When activities are accomplished by an entire temple, the president alone cannot claim that I have done this. Yes or no? So in that way. If we do not accept this principle, the priest would be called the performer. Okay, then the question is that, oh, if you say that king is not the performer, then the priest is the performer. Because priest is actually doing hands-on. He is the performer. Since he directly performs the sacrifice. This is understood from the Vishnu Sahasra Nama Stotra. Yajna book, Yajnakrit, Yajna. Vishnu is the enjoyer of the sacrifice, Yajna book. Vishnu is the performer of the sacrifice, Yajnakrut. And Vishnu is the sacrifice in itself. Neither king is performing the sacrifice, nor the priest is the performing sacrifice. These two are simply instruments. Then who is doing the sacrifice? Yajna. Lord Vishnu is himself is doing the sacrifice. He is the doer of sacrifice ultimately. Though the Lord is independent, the Jiva thinks that he is the performer out of ignorance and becomes bound up. Prakrite kriyamanani. Loud. Who? Me or you? Or everyone? Prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvacha ahankara miti amme binna. Sorry. Kidhar to jala gaya. Prakriti kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha. Everything is happening by the material modes of material nature. But ahankari says that I am the doer. That is our foolishness. By a skillful thinking, Bharata destroyed the contamination of impressions arising from action. So like that, the various thought processes are going on behind. It should be understood that though the devotee who is free of identity as the doer and has renounced all the results of action, sangam tektva, phalam tektva, Actions are results of our actions. Performs action through his representative such as the Advaryu priest. He is not the doer since he does not have the faith in those actions. Kartavya antime Bharata. Bharata Maharaja is only doing as a matter of Kartavya. It is a duty of the king. And his mastering is employing all the Brahmanas to do the sacrifice. So like that. On his behalf. But at the end, for him, what is important is this entire activity is an offering to Supreme Lord. That is most important for him. Then, by doing this sacrifice, I'll get entry into Swarga, I'll get this upland. That is, he's not concerned about that. He is not performing the sacrifice for that results. He is simply performing because it is the duty of the king to perform sacrifice. Let me do the sacrifice as an offering to Supreme Lord. He is Krishnizing the activity. He is Krishnizing the Varnashram duty. That's all. That we said, in the karma yoga, they only offer once in a season. And Naimitika karmas. Nitya karma they don't offer. But Yajna is one of the Nitya karma. He is doing that Nitya karma as a offering to Supreme Lord. Bhakti ho gaya. Without offering to Supreme Lord, it remains as karma. By offering to Supreme Lord, it becomes bhakti. Ashraddaya utam dattam tapastaptam kritam chayat. Asad iti uchyate partha natatat pretyano iha. So this is a verse from Bhagavad Gita chapter 17. What was the name of chapter 17? Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Sorry, वही है ना?
Divisions of faith.
बराबर बोला फिर क्या?
So at the end he says that even when Yajna is performed without faith, it is as good as not performed. Either way it should take. For exalted devotee also it works. For a foolish person also it works. The people outside, so many people doing so many things without complete faith. Even though they do so many things, it is of no use. Like a Bharata Maharaja is a pure devotee. He is performing Yajna. When one does one activity, one is entitled for the result. But he is not doing that activity in order to experience the results. He is doing that activity just as a matter of duty, without deep interest in that. Therefore, he is not entitled for the results. Simple. Even though that Yajna may award entry into Swarga for Bharata Maharaj, but Bharata Maharaj is not interested in the food. So it will not come only. It will not come to him only. So that is the principle. O son of Pruta, whatever is offered in the fire, whatever is given in charity, whatever undertaken as austerity, Yajna, Dana, Tapa, but which is done without faith is called Asat, since it bears no result now or in the next life. For both the people in the mode of ignorance, they don't have any faith. People in the mode of pure goodness, also, they are not worried about the results. They are not interested in the results, but they do activity. So both are not getting results. So in that way. Devotees such as Ambarisha, absorbed in performing pure bhakti all day long, Savaimana Krishna Padaravinda Vrshabhadeva, conducted sacrifices handed down by the tradition from father and grandfather through representatives through the Brahmana priests. It is seen at the present time as well that householder devotees well established in the western states perform the karmas such as marriage or receiving the sacred things through a representative, since they fear contamination with local customs and with the total lack of varna and dharma. Even when people go to foreign land, they try to execute the rituals in a proper way. Yes? In the West also our people, they try to perform, they try to follow our culture. They don't want to get contaminated by foreign culture. So, with the help of some representative. The results do not accrue to the impure person, as in the verse, Tavat Karmani Kurvita. Thus, the Shuddhasattva devotee certainly has no fault in doing actions through a representative. like pure devotee like Bharata Maharaj, doing all these karmas with the help of all the priests, does not entitle them to experience the results of doing that sacrifice. So like that. In the definition of pure bhakti, Annabhilasha Shunyam, indicating that bhakti should be devoid of karma and jnana. It is stated, jnana karmadi anavrutam. Rupa Goswami did not say that there should be no jnana, no karma. Instead, that jnana and karma activity should not cover their bhakti activities or bhakti mentality. They may perform karma and jnana as a matter of duty. It's like that. Some people explain that this means that bhakti remains pure, even though one engages in karma by employing an agent to perform sacrifice, because bhakti is not covered by karma if one remains constantly engaged in hearing and other acts of bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtana, Smaranam. While executing yajna, Bharata Maharaj is doing Smaranam. So he is not disturbed by the yajna activity. Disturbed means he is not entitled to get the results of the yajna. Otherwise, any person does yajna, they will be entitled to go to Swarga according to that yajna's result. They will have to enjoy in the Swarga, the result of yajna. But he is not thinking about that result, so he is not entitled to go to Swarga. So in that way. We cannot attribute fault of doing karmas to Bharata if he acts thus. But how can one say that his bhakti is pure if there is worship of many devatas in the sacrifice? Devotees might question, we by mercy we received Ananya Bhakti, we are supposed to aspire for Ananya Bhakti. Why are we doing all these things? Is it not wrong? Bharata, the sponsor of sacrifice, meditate on the devatas as the representative of the offerings at the limbs of the Lord. When the names of the devatas are chanted, he did not see them as the independent personalities. He saw them as different limbs of the Supreme Lord. When the priest said Indraya Swaha, he thought, this is worship of the arm of my Lord. When the priest said Surya Swaha, he thought, this is the worship of the eye of my Lord. Worshipping each devata independently would destroy the ananya aspect of bhakti. But worshipping the devatas at the limbs of the Lord does not destroy the ananya aspect of the bhakti. On Shivaratri, devotees can go to Lord Shiva's temple and worship Lord Shiva as Vaishnavana Meta Shambhu. On Ganesh Chaturthi, also devotees can go to Ganesh temple and worship Ganesh as a scriber of Mahabharata and other Puranas. On Durga Ashtami, one can go to Durga's temple and worship Durga Devi as the Shakti of the Supreme Lord. No issue. Okay? You can do a. We will do. We will do. Huh? Where? Okay, you don't have time to go out. Krishna, Krishna.
Absorption.
Pura absorption. Ananya Chintayantamam Yejana Paryupasate. Paryupasate means full engagement. 100 plus 1% engagement. Tesham Nityabhyuktanam Yogyam. You don't go, no problem. On your behalf, Lord will go and do the needful. On your behalf. He will do for you. Special devotees, Bhagavan. We should be careful. So that's how you would perform these sacrifices. Performing karmas purified by his intentions, the bhakti of Bharata filled with Shuddha Sattva daily increased to higher levels of intensity. Dhire dhire badtara. He directed his bhakti to the Lord situated in the core of the heart, to the Brahman and to Bhagavan, Lord Vasudeva, who is also seen the Lord of Vaikuntha, endowed with Srivasta, Kaustuba, garland, chakra, conch, and club, shining in the hearts of his devotees with his human form. Okay? All activities is dedicated to that Lord, whom some may call Brahman, some may call Paramatma, some may call Bhagavan. He is calling him as Vasudeva. What is the form of that Vasudeva? He is endowed with Srivasta, Kaustuba, Vaijayanti Mala, Chakra, Shanka, Chakra, Gada, Padma, everything is brightly shining. Hare Krishna. His entire form is like that of a human being. And to that Lord is worshipping, and his bhakti to that Lord is increasing every day, drastically, bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. Eventually comes to the platform of Bhava. He is situated at the platform of Bhava. He is exhibiting the symptoms of experiencing the bliss of the Supreme Lord having darshan. He is able to see the Lord with all these things in the core of his heart. Now and then. Thus he manifested Bhava symptoms. This action particularly purified the heart of the performer of karmas. Vrshabhadeva instructed his other sons to worship Bharata. However, since he already had a pure heart, it is redundant to say that he became purified by these acts. From external point of view, by performing all the yajnas as a worship to Supreme Lord, Vrshabha was purified like that one may say. But actually, Vrshabha already has pure heart, because Lord himself told, Lord Vrshabhadeva told already. He is a pure devotee, worship him directly. By birth only is pure. He is doing all these activities just to inspire people in general. Yadit acharati shrestha, tatateva itrojana. It's like that. Having a pure heart, he performed acts which were pure. Or, by this method, he purified all actions. Because he is already pure, by performing yajnas, he purified the yajnas only. He made them bhakti. The natural bhakti of Bharata, who was Shuddha Sattva, increased in strength daily on a higher level, like the Ganga, which moves with force, purifying the world. He had bhakti for Lord Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, who is worshipped as Paramatma, who is worshipped as Brahman, and who is worshipped as Bhagavan by different category of people. He is situated in the space of the heart as Paramatma, the object of meditation for the yogis. The Paramatma with a form is described in 2nd canto, 2nd chapter, text number 8. This form, Bharata Maharaj would see now and then. What was the form of the Paramatma? That is mentioned in the 2nd canto. Kechit Swadehanta Rudayavakashe Pradesha Matram Purusham Vasantam Chaturbhujam Kanja Pratanga Shanka Gadadaram Dharanaya Smaranti. Some yogis made it upon the Paramatma bearing one Pradesha, who is residing in the heart within the body, and who holds Shanka Chakra Gada Padma in his 4 hands. That is the form of Paramatma. That form is giving darshan to Bharata Maharaj. आप बताओ, 2nd कैंटो का श्लोक है, आप तो अभी 5th कैंटो में है, आप तो मास्टर से. What is that? मतलब क्या? Angushta Matra is 1st canto. That is Lord was of this size only, the thumb size. That is different. Pradesha Matra different. What is the meaning of Pradesha?
जो हार्ट का साइज है.
Correct. Where is Paramatma situated? Where in the heart? Everywhere. Wherever the heart is there, that much area it can be there. We cannot pinpoint here. So what is the size of the heart? The size of the heart is the Pradesha. One Pradesha is the size of the fist. Pradesha is basically from here to here. That is the size of the Pradesha. So for us, person may be of any height and breadth. Whatever the size of the fist, that is the size of the heart. For a small kid, that is the size of the heart. For a big person, that is the size of the heart. In that entire area, anywhere can be seen Paramatma. So he can be seen here, there, everywhere. That is the size of the Paramatma. That is Pradesha Matra. Intelligent people. Brahman is worshipped by the Jnanis. Bhagavan is worshipped by the devotees. Paramatma is worshipped by the yogis. Though the form of Krishna is Bhagavan, the form of the Lord of Vaikuntha is described here, since it is famous in the scriptures. This form shines in the heart, marked permanently with that human form, as if it were a painting in devotees like Narada. Because since we are Krishna Bhaktas, we may always talk about Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. If you observe Prabhupada's purports, even the pastime is going about Lord Vishnu is some avtaras, purport may everywhere Krishna, Krishna mentioned with the Prabhupada. Sometimes in translations also he writes Krishna, Krishna, Krishna only. That is the mood of the acharyas. Okay? That is how he ruled. He ruled over Bharata Varsha nicely. As a matter of duty, he was performing yajnas. While doing yajna, he was performing bhakti because he is offering everything yajna to Supreme Lord only. And after ruling sufficient time, every king, as usual, takes to Vanaprastha order. So Bharata also takes to Vanaprastha. So he takes to Vanaprastha and then he goes to Pulahashrama and then he performs severe austerities, etc. The subject matter of the upcoming verses. Shall we discuss a little bit or we'll stop here? It's almost 5:30. Both okay? आप बता दो.
आपको क्या लगता है?
Maybe 5-10 minutes we'll cover few more verses so that after ruling for 10 million years, abhi again years coming, you do calculations. Evam Varsha Ayuta Sahasra. Sahasra means 1000. Ayuta means 10,000. 10,000 times 1000. 10 million years. So, Ayuta means 10,000. Varsha is 5. Sahasra means 1,000. So, what is the time span of one Chatur 43 lakh?
4,32,000 into 10.
40 lakh 20,000 years. That means 4.32 million years. Here 10 million years is there. That means he ruled for 2 Chaturyugas. Okay, na? Probable. Because of Manvantara completed by Swayambhu Uttanapadas lineage. Priyavrata ruled for 25 Chaturyugas. Huh? Then his son also was born before only, but he went to perform austerities and later and he ruled for some time. Like that, one of the many ruled. Now Bharata Maharaja is ruling for 2 Chaturyugas. Reasonable time. He is not like 25 Chaturyugas. He is only ruling for 2 Chaturyugas. That much time he is not ordinary person also. Lord Vrshabha also must have ruled 1 or 2 Chaturyugas. So like that, adding up to it becomes the entire remaining part of Swayambhu Manvantara. After ruling for 10 million years and not ascertaining whether his karmas of this life were complete or not, he divided his wealth inherited from his father and grandfather, which he had enjoyed among his sons, and according to the rules, and then left his house full of all wealth and went to hermitage at Pulaha. The important thing is that this line, not ascertaining whether his karmas of this life were complete or not. Avasita karma nirvana avasaro. In the Bhagavatam classes regularly, whatever is happening, in one verse it said that understanding the endless nature of the karmas, Yudhishthir Maharaj became dumb and started for Nath. That means there is no end to the duties of a king for a person. If one wants to continue as a king, he can continue as long as he is living. And personalities like Yudhishthir Maharaj can live for long also. Because his grandfather Bhishma lived for 500 years almost. If the Pandavas want to live for more time, they could have lived. Because they are all devatas only, na? Their lifespan is much longer. They could have lived and ruled. But he understood that there will be no end to the duties of this world, duties in this world. We only have to put full stop at one time. We cannot say that the duties themselves will say that, oh, my dear sir, you have executed me for long enough. Enough is enough. Thank you, stop. Like that, the duties will never say. The duties demand only. So Yudhishthira Maharaj understood Krishna is not there. Krishna is there, I'll do. Krishna is not there, I'll not do. Done. They started for Narth. Even Bharata Maharaja also, he did as much as he could do. But he is not able to ascertain whether I have done properly or not. But still, whatever it is, I am done. I am going to forest. Because no one will tell. Even the ministers, if he say that I want to go to Vanaprastha, he will say, no. For a time, ruko. Baad mein jayenge. If he tells wife also will say, why you want to go right now? Stay for some time. No one will say, thank you very much for taking right decision. Will ever say? No one will say. Does your parents say when you want to go to Brahmachari ashram, they say, thank you very much, you please go. You have served enough at home, now you can go. Will they say? So like that. This is always a predicament. Not being able to ascertain whether his karmas of this life had finished or not, after ruling for 10 million years, Bharata divided his kingdom and left. One should take that strict decision. Even though it may be painful for others, but one should take one day. Bharata was conscious of his karmas only out of humility, since he actually did not have any karmas. His enjoyment of the kingdom was only a result of his being a devotee. He was not enjoying the kingdom because he wanted to enjoy. Because it is Lord's service, it is Lord providing, he just honored it. Mahaprasad. When you honor Mahaprasad, you are trying to enjoy or you are honoring it. Because it has come, you are accepting it. So, like that. Being detached, he suddenly left the kingdom. He went to forest. Then what did you do after going to forest? There, the Lord is visible even now in the form of desire, in the form desired by the devotee, out of affection for his followers who reside in that place. Pulahashrama is known as Tapabhumi. Gaurav Prabhu was saying once that Pulahashrama is Nepal. In the Nepal area, that Gandhamadana mountain is the Gandhamadana mountain, that Gandaki river. That area is called Pulahashrama. So that is where these people went and then some problem happened in their life. So like that they say. But certainly not this Himalayas, the great Himalayas. Because of his affection, the Lord is present there in the form of desire, in the form desired by his devotees, residing there in the forms like Krishna or Rama. Because these devotees are so sublime, they are in the platform of Bhava and Plema. Whenever they want, Lord will manifest in front of them in a Pratyaksha form. And this place is also so potent. There, if they desire to see the Lord, Lord would manifest immediately. That's why in Gandaki river, every stone is a Shaligram Shila. The place is so potent, so vibrant. So for that reason. In that place, the Gandaki, the best of rivers, purifies the hermitages with shilas marked with chakras and holes on both the sides. There is Gandaki river filled with lot of Shaligram shilas. The Gandaki purifies the hermitages by the chakras of the shilas with holes on the upper and lower surfaces. There, Bharata alone performed. This is the problem. He was alone. If he was in the midst of other sages, there could have been no problem. This is the lesson Bhagavatam want to teach us. Alone is the problem. Then Bharata alone performed worship of the Lord in the garden of the hermitage of Pulaha, using the water, tulsi, various flowers and leaves, with offerings of bulbs, roots and fruits, pure, free from material desire, with ever increasing peace, he attained the highest bliss. Param Nirvana Mavapa. Whatever is naturally available in the mountain area, he used them in the worship of the Supreme Lord. He might have taken one Shaligram Shila from the Gandaki river, he would worship that Shaligram Shila every day and would do his japa, tapa, everything. Whatever he was practicing during his gross order. The place itself is vibrant on the bank of Gandaki, and every stone is Lord's form, and he was worshipping with whatever naturally available. The roots and fruits, Patram Pushpalam Tuyam, which are naturally available, he was applying, taking them and applying in the service of the Lord. Eventually, he became lax in his duties as his heart melted because of the ever increasing intense attraction for the Lord. That means once in a while he would get bhava. In bhava, he would go into trance and he would forget doing his deity worship. Trance में जाए तो क्या करेंगे? That would happen once in a while. Though his constant service, through his constant service, intense attraction for the Lord through his constant, because he performed constant service that is intense, he developed that bhava symptoms, so he would go into trance. So his bhakti activities were interrupted in between. What are the symptoms? His hairs stood on end because of the excessive joy. Tears produced by longing for the Lord flowed from his eyes out of affection. Symptoms of Baba. His intelligence was immersed in the lake of his heart, filled with the highest bliss through Bhakti Yoga, by intense meditation on the right feet of the Lord who bestows prema. He was meditating on the form of the Supreme Lord within the core of his heart, by which he was exhibiting hair standing on the hand, tears flowing profusely, like that. So many things are happening. He had no enthusiasm to perform daily duties because his heart was melted with affection for the Lord. The hairs on his body stood on end. His intelligence was submerged in the lake in his heart, which was deep with the nectar of great joy spread everywhere. So like that. His bhakti is so top class, occasionally he would enter into trance and he was failed to perform the regular duties, whatever he is supposed to do at the time. Because once he enters into trance, it might be sometimes minutes, hours, days, weeks, we don't, something like that. Then, with a vow to worship the Lord, his body shining with deer skin, his brown matted hair, wet from daily bath, he worshipped the golden Lord, Hiranmaya Purusha, with a mantra dedicated to Lord Vishnu, in the sun residing it at the sun rose. Every day he would take bath in the Gandaki river, and multiple times he would take bath in the Gandaki river, because of which his hair is always wet. And every day morning he would chant a mantra after taking bath in the Gandaki river while sun is rising, indicating to Supreme Lord. Thinking that his ecstatic symptoms were an obstacle and that his intelligence should not be covered by the ecstasy, he began to worship the Lord using a mantra revealed by his intelligence. He would actually chastise the ecstasy. Why are you disturbing my daily devotional activities? Go away. This example comes in the NOD. Later part, Radhika Prabhu, whenever he takes Bhagavatam classes, he will quote this example. Even when Krishna was going from Hastinapur to Dwaraka, Uddhava was fanning the Lord. When he was fanning the Lord, Uddhava would manifest the symptoms of ecstasy. He would curse the symptoms. Why are you disturbing me, my seva? Go away, at last. I don't want you. Let me serve the Lord by fanning him. Uddhava would say that. Here, Bharata Maharaj also same thing. I have so many duties, daily activities to perform. Why are you disturbing me? Go away. Don't disturb me. Like that, Bharata Maharaj would tell the ecstasy to go away. It's like that. He worshipped using a mantra which revealed the Lord situated in the sun. Suryarcha. Ujjane means rising. Ujjase means during the desiring that the sun rise. So this is the mantra which you would chant every day morning while sun is rising. Paro Raja Savitur Jata Vedo Devasya Bargo Manasedam Jajana Suretata Sureta Sadha Punaravisha Chaste Hamsam Grudranam Drushad Rigiram Hima. I surrender to the effulgent Lord, Bargo Devasya Dhimahi. In our mantra is there na Bargo Devas Dhimahi? That Lord only. I surrender to the effulgent Lord, situated in the sun, beyond Prakriti, fulfilling the desires of the Jiva, and who, by his Chishakti, creates this universe by his will, Manasa Idam Jajana, enters into it as Paramatma and maintains it, Punaravisha Chaste. What was the 16th verse, 17th verse of the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? 17th verse. No seeing. Dvau imau purushav loke charakshaksharmevacha kshara sarvani bhutani kotastu akshara muchate. That is 16th verse. Uttama purushasu vanne paramatmeti udaruta yo lokatrayam avishya bibarti aveya ishvaraha. Superior to Kshara and Akshara is called Uttama Purusha. He is known as Paramatma. He enters into this universe and maintains it. That is the duty of the Paramatma. Same thing is really. So, I surrender to that effulgent Lord who is situated in the sun as beyond Prakriti, fulfiller of all the desires of all the Jivas, and who by his Chit Shakti creates this universe by his will and enters into it and maintains the Jiva desiring material enjoyment by inspiring the Jiva's intelligence. For whose sake he created the universe? For the Jiva who has material desire. And why does he come into this universe? In order to inspire Jiva to fulfill his desires, so that he can facilitate. That is the greatness of the Supreme Lord. I surrender to the Lord. I surrender to the effulgence of the Lord situated in the sun. This refers to the Narayana indicated in he is beyond Prakriti or is Shuddha Sattva. He fulfills the desires of the devotees. That effulgent Lord has created this universe by his will, entering the world by the power of his Chit Shakti at the Antaryami. He sees the Jiva like me, desiring happiness from material objects. The Lord had created this universe and maintains it only to facilitate Jiva's enjoyment. And that Lord also situated in the brightness of the sun. And to that Lord, let me offer obeisances while sun is rising in the east every day morning. That is the meaning. This is a prayer he would chant regularly every day morning. This means he maintains the Jiva out of his causeless mercy. How? He maintains the Jiva by inspiring the Jiva's intelligence. Sarvasya chaham Rudisanni Vishto Matta Smriti Jnanam. That's how Paramatma maintains our intelligence. Drishat means the intelligence. What remains in men as a covering. That is Drishat. The Lord gives movement to the intelligence of man. May my intelligence encourage concentrating on the Lord, not be covered by anything. What is that? Hruddesha Juntishati, Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Enta Rudani Maya. What is the first line? Ishvara Sarvabhutana Hruddesha Juntishati, Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Enta Rudani Maya. The Supreme Lord situated in the heart of every living entity as Paramatma, and by his intervention, the body functions. Like that, the entire universe is operating. That is the role of Paramatma. It is Paramatma who gives us intelligence. It is Paramatma who inspires us how to use the intelligence in order to fulfill our material desires. It is Paramatma who creates and maintains this entire universe. And he is chanting that prayer every day morning in order to execute his daily devotional services. This is Bharata Maharaj. And this Bharata Maharaj very soon will become dear. Even after come to Bhava platform. That can happen in the life of any person, any of us. If you remember in the first chapter when Priyavrata Maharaj case, when he said, why are you disturbing me for my sadhana? That time Brahma said that is Lord's desire. So apparently it seems to be an obstacle in the devotional service of the Prithu Maharaj, but it is Lord's intervention. When Lord takes the people away from their execution of devotional activities, Lord will give them that bliss of bhakti and Lord will bring them to the right track afterwards. So there Prithu Maharaj, Priyavrata Maharaj did not do any offense. Here apparently it seems to be neglecting his duties. After next chapter we'll see what. It is also Lord's desire that if we become overly compassionate to something which is not required, we will deviate from the right path. Again, we'll come back to right path. This is a pastime to give us a lesson. Here, Bharata Maharaj did not do any offense, but through using Bharata Maharaj as an instrument, Lord is showing what we should not do. So that is the intention. That will come in the next chapter. Okay? Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Anantapudi Vaishnava Bhakti ki Jai. Thank you very much for staying a little more time. Okay?